Hey, hey, we are live. We are live. So, Mabel, all right, let's get us together. Turn this around, get us on here. Make sure I got it right. All right, give y'all a few minutes to join in. Let me see. Yeah, give y'all a few minutes to join in while I finish setting up. All right, we're going to be talking about what we're not going to do. Okay. All right, hope you got your tea, your notebook, notepad. Throw on some makeup real quick for y'all. All right, we'll get this all the way together. Maybe I'll do it like this. Yeah, that looks better for me. All right, all right, all right. I hope y'all ready. I hope y'all ready. So let me get this going for y'all. I want to get some music on here to get us started. Music, because there's a song that inspired me to go ahead and get this going for this particular series. So, hope y'all ready. Hope y'all ready. I think I blended my contour, looking a little rough. But let's see here. Search already. There it goes. We're here. We here. We here. All right. So get some music in the bag. Get y'all pen. Get y'all tea. I had to get my tea. We're gonna be talking about what we're not gonna do as Black women in leadership. So I hope y'all ready. And y'all know I'm getting over this sinus infection. But let me play my little music in the background. Let me make sure it's not too loud because my son is asleep. So you know he's gonna be waking up. Let's see. What is this? No, that's not it. This may or may not work. I thought I was gonna get some music for y'all. All right. Search already. Okay, there it goes. Let me play it. Let me play it. Y'all got your pen? You got your pen? You got your notebook? You got your tea? I got my tea. We're going to pull this all together. So, what I wanted to do is have a conversation specifically about what we've been dealing with in the workplace. And so, one of the first things that I wanted to share with you guys was me. Who am I? Why am I even talking about this? So, when it's all said and done, let's see, this isn't the song I wanted. That is definitely not the song I wanted. It's supposed to be already. Y'all know what song I'm talking about. But let's just go back. And this is the thing. I'm Dr. Sinead Turan of SP Consulting Group. I am your organizational development psychologist as well as your licensed psychotherapist. And if you've been following me, you already know this. This is definitely for those that haven't been following me. This is the first time you're viewing me. But I wanted to get on here. I work with a lot of women of color. Um, and specifically, there's been some issues going on that's been consistent, like consistent amongst the women that I've been working with. And so I was like, I need to just do a series on this because it's definitely something that everybody's been experiencing, whether it's imposter syndrome, people making you like gaslighting you, all of that. So what we're gonna do Let me make sure I'm looking at the right camera. Okay, so I know which one. Okay, it's not that one. All right. So one of the things that I came across amongst many is the research that talks about, and actually the title of it was Three Ways Executives Hold Black Women Back. Three ways that executives hold Black women back. And you guys can look that up. And this is where I'm coming from with at least the basic research and the facts, the receipts that we're going to talk about today, and is going to be the point in which I draw all of the tips and tools that I'm going to share. So, most specifically, some of the research that came back that is despite all that has been going on, despite all of the push for equality, all of the, you know, all of the noise surrounding being equitable, diverse, all that good stuff. We've been hearing that, we've been saying that, and regardless of that promise to diversify, regardless of that promise in the corporate spaces, especially to really get an equal playing ground for everybody, there's still 4%. Like, even though in general, women have begun to hold the higher level positions, right? Women have begun to hold the higher level positions across the board. However, when it comes to Black women, there is still 4% of Black women in the C suite. 4%. So, out of all of the progress, out of all of the major situations that have transpired over time, even the situations that have come, since way before 2020 and the pandemic hit, but when it's all said and done, 4% of the C-suite is made up of African American women or women that identify as being Black. Okay. And so this research came from McKinsey and leanin.org. And overall, we're still having some issues. And why is that? Why is that? Like, the reason why I'm doing this series is not just to talk and to share the information, but it's also to, ignite a dialogue, a conversation about what we just aren't going to do anymore with allowing this to be the narrative, demanding our respect, demanding um, all of our due respect for everything that we've been doing, our credit, for what it is that we do. And so I go on this route to also share some more facts before I go into the what do you do, how can you really get beyond it. And mind you, this is a series, so for this first one, I'm laying the groundwork, just so you know, laying the groundwork. Okay, so ongoing discrimination at work is being reported. We know this. We know that there wasn't going to be just an automatic transition. But I have to ask, especially because I spend time with my clients, and the question comes up of, well, what do I do? What do I say when their job is on the line? What do we do? What can you do? Um, and we're going to get to that. Okay. But microaggressions continue. People are still being treated as the token. That's something else that comes up. Like, one of the ways that executives continue to hold back women of color, Black women in particular, is tokenism. Saying that, hey, we need you to represent, you know, um, we want you at this particular meeting, but then they don't want your insight otherwise. That's an example. And I'm trying to change the level on my laptop so it looks a little less obvious when I'm like looking away from you guys, because I got IG up top. So let me fix this so it looks a little bit. There it goes. There it goes. All right. So, and let me get this. I really do want to get my music right, because it got to get my mind right. So let's see. What do I want to do? I want to do. Okay, we're just gonna do that. chillaxing. Um, and mind you, just know that this series is going to be real. Okay. And that's why I'm like, let me set the groundwork so that when you watch the replay and then you come back to it, you're not like, okay, it's going to be real surface level. But again, I'm starting out with the research. Okay. And again, my doctorate is in organizational development psychology. So I look at a lot of this on a regular basis, um, especially when I see an automatic like influx of my clients that are coming in, people, prospective clients coming in and sharing how, you know, the bottom line is, um, hold for video, tap and hold for video. Oh, Lord, I didn't realize that this whole time. I'm sorry, y'all. I didn't even realize this whole time I didn't push the button, but I've been live. Let me just recap real quick. Y'all, your girl got new equipment, and I'm sitting up here like, I didn't push the button. So excuse me, folks that's on Facebook and YouTube, because I've been talking this whole time and did not realize that I didn't push the button for the live. Again, Dr. Shanae Turan of SP Consulting Group, located in downtown Los Angeles. Again, give me a second, folks on Facebook, because I want to just make sure that I got this all the way right. What a mess. Okay, so what I was recapping is laying the foundation. That's what we're doing, laying the foundation in general for what the series is going to be about. Very quickly, one of the articles that I came across was 3 ways executives hold black women. Right? Like 3 ways like you can actually Google that. You can Google that. So when you are talking about issues that don't resolve quickly, we're talking about this stuff is going to take a while. And this is why this series is called What We're Not Going to Do. What we're not going to do is sit around and let this be okay. So that's like the what they call the bluff. The bottom line up front for this series is what we're not going to do is let folks keep getting away with it. Okay. So I will share from time to time my personal experience. I will share from time to time just some anecdotal things from, just the influx that's been coming in or reaching out for help, people that have been coming looking for help. Because the main 3 things that they said in that particular article, as far as holding people back, was 4% of C-suite, like members in the C-suite, are Black women. Like, yes, in general, we have seen a growth in women in the C-suite, in these higher level positions, in these more influential roles. Again, because we are speaking to women that are not just in a corporation. We're also speaking to business owners. Like, I have noticed even business owners having issues with, again, having to work harder. We got to work harder because of the color of our skin. Again, we're going to piece this out. This is a series, but 4%, and that's according to McKinsey and leanin.org. Okay. So facts up front. I'm giving you the receipts up front, so that if you have any questions about where I'm getting this information from, you can look it up yourself too. Okay. So despite this influx, and you have to ask yourself, if despite this influx of, we're going to be more diverse, we are going to be more equitable, we're going to be more inclusive. If this is what we're saying, why is it that still there's ongoing discrimination? According to these polls, there's ongoing issues with microaggressions continuing at the same rate, if not more, than before. I mean, I've had people like speak up and share that, essentially they're a token. They're being asked like, they may have been promoted, but they're only included when it's something of a question regarding Black people. This person is brilliant. Do you know that sometimes when we know for a fact that, yeah, we got it, but you are purposely hearing, oh, let me push them forward, then that's adding more pressure on us. That's adding more pressure on us. That's adding not just the pressure, but we talk about being tired already. Like, we are not superwomen, but yet we got to do extra work and still figure it out. We have to speak on behalf of the culture. We got to speak on behalf, like, this is stuff that's still happening. All of this then is contributing to stress and burnout, the heaviness, the load. It's still there. We're still having to deal with that. And what's crazy about that is, with this burden, a lot of people are at the point where they're like, I don't even know what to say. I want these opportunities. I want these opportunities. However, look at what's happening. Do I say yes? Am I, like, people afraid to speak up? Like, have you ever been in a situation where you've been asked to speak on behalf of all people in your race? Like, this is something that is an experience, and I'll tell you and give you an example. At the height of COVID, when there was also all of the things going on as it pertains to George Floyd, everything's going on. I'm in quarantine with my husband at the time, with my son, stressed out. Like, and I consider myself, like, by nature, more of an introvert. Like, I'm more like to myself, more quiet. I get my energy from just being alone and being quiet. But ultimately, I was still stressed. But yet, not too much, like, prior to that, I was being told that I should consider myself the help. Okay, I'm the help. But then, fast forward, I'm being called on because I'm a great speaker. You have a great voice. Can you speak, on this in this town hall in regards to blah blah blah? Okay, then I had a loss in my family, very major loss, and when I'm getting choked up in the meeting in which they asked me to attend, it's crickets. It's crickets. Like, you don't hear anything. No one said sorry for your loss. Like, none of that. None of that. So when it was all said and done, when we work in an environment that isn't supportive, that adds on stress. That adds on pressure that we don't necessarily need, but yet continues to be put on our back. And what do we do about it? Do we just say, okay? And what I'm finding is, a lot of us, me being one of them, have a hard time saying no, because then we're not going to be deemed the team player. We're not the team player if we don't do all these extra things. And one of the things that came up, and mind you, this particular article was in CNN Online, and it was just saying how we are burdened with greater responsibilities, because we're also not just doing our job, but we're also speaking on behalf of all folks Black. Like, how are we going to do that? Why would we continue to do that? One of the things that they said that's real simple for leaders to do is to deliberately, and here my son woke up. He's telling me to stop. He don't like when I'm talking. John, reach out and give everybody an opportunity to volunteer. Why isn't that a thing? Why isn't everyone allowed to volunteer and speak for multicultural events? Why is it that certain people are pointed out and, like, pushed to do this, versus this is something that we do every year? For example, we got a holiday coming up, MLK, you know that when it's all said and done, then we have Black History Month. Like, if We are not. Hey, Stephanie, you stupid. You said, come on, Lauren. Girl, this is the first time I'm revealing the new hair color. Uh-huh. But either way, Johnny, be quiet. My son, he done woke up from his nap that I made him take when I was working out. But either way, so let people volunteer for the extra work. There's so many things that we are going to uncover and actually state as the obvious here because it's real obvious. It's real regular things that we can do to make sure that we aren't being put in these awkward positions, that we are being put in these like positions to be traumatized again, actually. And what I like to say overall is I have not met now one person that I've worked with that has been in a situation like that with their employers where they've been pressured to do extra, where they've been pressured to do more, and pressure to show up, do more, like the reoccurring thing, we got to do more. Why? Because you want to. If you want to, that's fine. And I forgot to say, hey, Autumn, thank you for staying on here, following me. My sister on here, y'all. Hey, girl. Come get your nephew because he all in my live. Autumn, you coming again? No, I'm just playing. So when we're working on what we're not going to do, again, we are not going to allow this to beat us up. We are going to be in a place. Come here. Your auntie said, "You so cute." He wants to go back to sleep. But what we're not going to do is be in a position where we're going to have that additional beatdown. We're going to have that additional pressure. What we're going to do is stay true to our knowledge, skills, and abilities. Again, if you want to do extra, go ahead and do extra. But don't let it be where someone else is putting the pressure on you. Like, truly, even when we were talking about the extra duties, the stress, like I said, with the situation that I gave, I'm up here dealing with a family loss, dealing with the pandemic, and being asked to speak up. And I was actually one of those that was pretty like nervous about saying no. I was already working from home and it felt like, is this a privilege? Do I say no? Like, what do I do? But why? We have been it's been hammered, and hammered in us to do above and beyond, and we are tired. So, what are some of the things that we can do? Some of the things we can do is, first of all, spend some time with ourselves, spend some time figuring out what it is that we really are doing or not doing to add on the pressure. Are you spending this extra time that you don't have to do? One thing that I have been grateful for is people in my life that have been able to have conversations with me and truly let me know, like, you can rest, right? You need to take a break, right? Because there's been periods of time that, regardless of what I know, what I teach other people, I still have to know it for myself. And that's one of the first things, even to getting to a place of balance and harmonious living, more happy, like more happiness, more joy, is being in a place where no matter what, you have some time to yourself to say, what is going on? What do I want? And how am I going to get it done? Is it more organization? Shout out to my girl, Christina Garrett, who runs the Mamathon Diaries. Like, shout out to Stephanie Pinkney, someone that pushes people to beyond any sort of diagnoses, that you can find purpose in it. Like when it's all said and done, there are people out here who could help you that look like you. But what you shouldn't do is say, okay, well, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I just feel so lost, because the more you say that, the deeper you go into it. So, what are you going to do in particular? What are you going to do? Some of the things that I had wrote down when I was going through here was, first of all, demand of your leader to show some sort of concern for the fact that, wait a minute, if I'm just good skill wise and you're inviting me to this, or I'm just good in my profession, celebrate my knowledge, skills, and abilities. Don't sit up here and have me speak on all things women perspective, Black woman perspective, speak for the culture, invite me to the meeting just because what do you think? And it's like, wait a minute, am I being called here because of my expertise? Are you giving me this role because of my expertise? Like, what is it? What is it? At some point, we have to hold the line and hold people accountable. But what we're not going to do is sit up here and just say, that's just what they do. That's just the way they are. That's just how, maybe she felt some sort of way because no. I was even talking to one of my partners, and he had said something that I loved. He was talking about some collaborations that he was doing. And even though we're talking about women, something that he said that he did in that moment really resonates with what we need to do, and not fear that we're going to be considered the angry Black woman, right? Like, we don't want to come off harsh, right? But he was working with some women, and they were having a meeting, giving him some kudos for the work that he did. Again, apply it to you and really hear what I'm saying here. He was getting kudos, but he was like, I did below par. Like, I just did the basics. And the words that they used were basically indicative of, oh, you did so great. Really? What did I do? Well, and I guess they explained how much he had done that led to them saying that, and he's like, but isn't that what you asked me to do? And so the conversation came up basically to say, but what were you expecting? What were you expecting? When you speak in a way that's articulate, when you have an education, when you are accepted for a job, when you're accepted, whether you're in your business, a contract is accepted, whether you're an agent, someone hires you, you're a coach, someone hires you. And it's like, oh, you did an amazing job. There's a difference. See the difference and ask them, so what did you like about it? Oh, well, what were you expecting? We're not going to sit here anymore and just let people downplay us or put us on a pedestal because of our standard baseline, because of preconceived notions. We cannot allow this, like I said, the article, to be still saying 3 things that executives do to hold back Black women. What are we doing as Black women to hold the line, to set a boundary and say, what we're not going to do is minimize my knowledge, skills, and abilities. And this is what I prefer, because when it's all said and done, however you say it, whatever words you use, make sure that you hold that boundary. Make sure you help people know how to treat you. No, and I was talking about this to one of my my other new partners. We haven't made any announcement yet, but okay, all right. But sorry, y'all. I made him take a nap during my workout, so now he's here. But we were having a conversation about all the gimmicks, all the gimmicks that we have to do still, even as entrepreneurs? Why do we have to do all these gimmicks? Why can't we just show up? For example, me letting you guys know, hey, I'm an actual doctor. I went to school for 11 years and I know what I'm talking about. I still got to shuck and jive on TikTok? Yeah. No. Nobody's shucking and jiving on TikTok. No. Like I may put some information out there. No. I may, have some music playing. Like there's trends and things that, are super legit. But even when I'm doing my research and looking at what do people gravitate to? What are people gravitating to? And people are gravitating to people shucking and jiving. It's like, why can't I just let you know that you are worth more than how you're being treated? And I'm going to help you get to that point where you believe it, you exude it, you practice it, and you get the return on that investment of working on your self-esteem. How about your self-efficacy? What it is that you believe, but what we're not going to do is think that it takes shucking and jiving still in a modern day way to let our voice be heard. I'm not doing that. You shouldn't do that. Like use the algorithms and do what you need to do to be creative. Shoot, I love a good dance. I love a good, funny little message or something. But why is it that that's what people gravitate to? Like, if I was sitting on here, shucking and jiving, twerking, the twerking therapist, TT, if I did that, then what would it look like? I'd have 1 million views. I'd be a YouTube star. And it's like, what are we doing or not doing to reclaim, reestablish the narrative in regards to women who lead? Again, it may be leadership in role, it may be leadership in purpose, regardless of the venue. Okay. So when we look at this, and again, some of the digging that I was doing, we're dealing with women in leadership, regardless of their knowledge, skills, and abilities. Entrepreneurs that are saying, I need help with boundaries. I need help with communication. I need to be able to say what it is that you stupid. No, not the twerking bear. Tay Tay. Okay, call me Tay Tay. All right, but what low self-esteem, low confidence, imposter syndrome. Trying to figure out a way of dispelling stereotypes. Um, let's not even talk about emotional labor. Still showing up with a smile and everything together when we're not doing well. Like I talked a lot about self-care, both like across Facebook, everywhere. Self-care, how do you build yourself up? Because if you aren't healthy, if you aren't in a place of balance and you're anchored mind, body, and spirit, a lot of this stuff just passes you by, and it's like, that's just how I'm supposed to do it. I don't know what else to say. No, let's do better by actually doing better. But we have to do it on a regular basis. We have to regularly hold ourselves accountable. We have to regularly realize that when it's all said and done, we cannot allow our main jobs to be what dictates our self-worth. And we have to then teach people, regardless of if it's our clients. I've had people that have not signed up for services after requesting to sign up for services. And then when they realized they had to pay for it, they backed out. So what did you think this was? When it's all said and done, we have to do better across the board to teach people how to treat us. We have to do better across the board, sharing our gifts. This is something that has been a challenge for me because I am someone that has been in the role of being discriminated against, the imposter syndrome, the all of it. And now I'm getting out of that and learning that there's more people, shoot, that I'm treating, that I'm coaching past that frame of mind. We have to be in the frame of mind where we truly show up, that we truly teach others how we demand to be treated and aim for upward and onward. So I'm going to end there. It's been roughly 30 minutes. And again, I apologize to my folks on Instagram. I'm going to get it together. Your girl was sitting over here talking to y'all with all earnestness and didn't even push the live button, like had the screen up and everything. But either way, I wish you guys the best. I want you guys to join me for this conversation. We're going to dig into it again. This was the first of a few that's going to be in the line of this series. And again, this was just the facts. There are so many Black women in particular that still, for whatever reason, aren't making it into the C suite, aren't being heard as a business owner, aren't being taken seriously as a business owner in their own space. And a lot of times it's because of the color of our skin. So I'm your fellow dark skinned Black friend. I want to give a shout out before I end here to my Delta Sigma Theta sorors out there. I'll give you a skew, from your AKA over here. I want to wish you guys a very, very, very excellent Founders Day for my DST sorors out there. All right. You guys take care. And I will be back on Tuesday. I will be doing this series on maybe about 30 minutes, depending on how rowdy we get in the chat box. But this series, 30 minutes of chatting and talking. It may grow longer, again, depending. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys missed this, again, I repeated some of the stuff for my folks on IG that missed me because of my old lady not being able to push the the live button. But I love you guys to death. Let's take care of one another, build each other up, and again, check out even the ladies that I had hollered out.
Also, you need to build your own Sonic character. Build it in Sega.
He said, build your own Sonic character. And I'll rephrase it to say, build your character up, build up your mindset. And you guys take care, right? Have a good one. See you guys on Tuesday. We'll dive deeper, and I'll make sure he takes his nap a little earlier so we can really, really, really